It's like a GPS. They know where they're at. They know where they want to go. And what they're wanting is somebody to come in and help them close that gap. If you're an expert, you've mastered something, and you're super passionate about it, it's something that lights you up. I believe that you should be able to turn that into an offer that impacts lives and, at the very minimum, generate you 7 figures. That also allows you to live the laptop lifestyle, being able to run your business from anywhere in the world, achieving the ultimate freedom of time, financial, and location. Welcome to Expert Unleash, where we help our clients who are online entrepreneurs, coaches, consultants, course creators, experts live the laptop lifestyle, being able to turn what you know and love into an online offer. And we have a very, very special guest for you today, because this show is really all about if you have something that you know and love, you want to launch a brand new offer. We basically help you launch that. Or if you're looking to grow, you have an existing offer that just isn't working, we help you grow it to 6 figures, then ultimately to high 6 figures and 7 figures as well. And we have a very special guest here that she's actually the queen of virtual assistants, and she is able to go where she wants, when she wants, go as long as she wants, and bring as many people as she can. And she's been able to live that laptop lifestyle, having that control of time, financial, and location freedom. So this is my special guest, Phyllis Song. And she is known, yes, as the queen of virtual assistants, been able to not only just run a business, but run a business really mainly 100% online, and has really allowed her the time, financial, and location freedom to be able to create impactful services to impact her ideal clients' lives, as well as impact thousands and thousands of virtual assistants in the Philippines. And at the same time, be able to have an amazing relationship with myself, because I am actually her husband. And then at the same time, have some amazing kids, and ultimately wake up every single day doing what she knows and what she loves. So Phyllis, introduce yourself a little bit. Here's the thing, before you actually get started, one of the things that people, when they introduce themselves, sometimes they go on these long-winded rants that, it makes the audience fall asleep. I think some of the best introductions are essentially starting off with the result, right? The result that you help your ideal clients achieve. Because if your audience is in the audience, they're watching you, and you introduce yourself, and if it's a result that they actually want, and that's what you're able to help them achieve, and then you showcase your expertise and your passion, that's how you should actually do introductions, right? So Phyllis, I'd love for you to introduce yourself, who you do help, and then ultimately what are you an expert in, and what do you love doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to the call, right? I definitely feel very honored. And yes, Sys is my husband. And so what do I do? I really I help busy business owners, right, to be able to get their time back, create the ultimate freedom so that they can do what they want, when they want, with who they want, without really putting in all these effort that that a normal business owner do by leveraging, virtual assistants. And in the process, we help business owner identify what they truly need and desire, right? And then find the right person to help them solve it. And at the same time, train the VA to become, we call it the super VA, right? They can really work with you, predict, have common sense, and so on and so forth. And then at the end, we also have a course that we're teaching people how to, run a successful business. How do you run it a way that you can work on your business and not in your business, and then you can maximize every virtual assistant that you hired. Because once upon a time, me and my husband, right, we work 80 hours or more than 80 hours a week. I know we work 7 days a week, and we still have very barely minimum in our bank account. And we don't know why, because we are just like every other, business owners. And after, yesterday was actually our 15 years, anniversary. And together we've been, running business for about 19 years. And finally, I figured it out on how, we can really get the freedom, but still, do have the impact and income at the same time. We literally just came back from a 3 months vacation, and business is still running, right? It's still, continuously growing. Without me involved in it, I might be involved in 10-20%, but other than that, everything was run by the by all our amazing systems and virtual assistants. So
Awesome. So if you are here and you're looking to launch something brand new, a brand new offer, or if you have an existing offer that just isn't working, one of the things that are vital or critical to the success of your offer, your business, is knowing who really truly is your ideal client, right? Niching down to say, look, I work with this. This is the perfect avatar, right? This is their persona. Not only do I know them, but I understand them. I understand what they're thinking. I know how they're feeling. I know what decisions they're making, what actions they're taking, and then ultimately, what result do they want to achieve, right? So, Phyllis, who is your, using you as an example? I know that you started with one avatar. I know you're expanding it a little bit, but why did you choose that person to work with? And what is it that you found that they actually want, that you're able to actually give them so masterfully? So
yeah, so actually very lucky. I was a real estate agent in Dallas before, and then afterwards I joined Tony Robbins, community, Tony Robbins, seminars, and then we went into this group called the Tony Robbins Platinum Partners, and one day they have this class about, hey, one of the one of the speaker, Keith Ferrazzi, was saying, hey, everybody should have VAs. If you have local employees, you should have VAs that's supporting your local employees too, so that they can, you will be a lot more effective. And at that time, I have already used virtual assistant for the past 12 years. So everybody was like, wow, this is amazing. I don't know how to do that. And I was like, well, it's common sense for me, but apparently it's not common sense for everyone. So then they asked me to start a business. And ever since then, we have been 3 years in running. So, that was the one avatar that I help. And what we do, it's a very small niche. I mean, right now they only have like 2,000 members, but it's still 3 years in running, and they refer a lot of people to us. Ultimately, they are the overachiever. They are very busy. They want to make the world a better place. And they are very motivated to help VAs from Philippines, because then we're helping a developing country people to live a better life, at the same time still be able to do things that they need to get done. And I think the number one secret sauce that I have is that most of the business owner that is in the Tony Robbins world, they want the VA to speak Tony Robbins, right? They want the VA to speak Tony Robbins. They want them to be on the peak state. They want to understand that, where the focus goes, the energy flow, right? They want them to be, I call it quote unquote Americanize them, so that they know how to work with small business owner, so that, as soon as you collect, you collect and integrate with the VA, you can start running with them instead of like jogging and still getting used to the, the languaging and culture too. So they really enjoyed that part.
yeah. So, again, if you look at your offer and it's not working, or you're looking to launch something new, there's two things that are must. One is you have to do something that you have mastered, right? We learned from Tony Robbins ourselves, mastery, right? Second is you have to do something that you're super passionate about, because it's literally about energy, right? Because if you do something that you suck at, it sucks the energy out of you, right? And if you do something that you're great at, but then you don't love it, you'll wake up one day achieving at a really high level, but then you're not living fulfilled because you're not doing something that you're truly loving. So Phyllis is one of those examples where you do things so masterfully, right? You're an expert at this, but at the same time, you love it, right? So could you share a little bit of your backstory? Because here's the thing, guys: people don't buy what you do; people buy why you do it, right? And her clients say yes to her all day, every day, and a lot of yeses, because they understand why she did it, right? So share a little bit of origin story. How did you stumble onto VAs? Then you turned it obviously now into your offer. So how did that become?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few pieces of stories that kind of built into one, I would say. The very first story is that I grew up without my parents, right? My parents really busy, right? I'm always the kid that, always look at the door or the window and hope that my parents come home. So, raised without parents, I feel very lonely, when I was younger. And at that moment, we do have Filipino mates that is taking care of us. So I have a special relationship with Filipinos, actually, as a matter of fact. And then, so that's how I grew up, and I got the love from the Filipino, and I know that they're very genuine, right? But at the same time, they miss their kids, but they have to go overseas to work just to make ends meet, right? So that's story number one. Story number two is that me and my husband, when we are business owner, right? At that moment, I haven't started a business. I was a supporter of him. So I'm the gopher, right? So he just gave me everything that he doesn't want to do. So I was like, oh my God, that's so much thing to do, right? And I want my freedom. I don't want to lose my freedom from it. But I'm a yes girl to my husband at the moment. And I was like, but there's so much thing to do. And at the same time, as a business owner, we have such a small budget, right? Like we don't have a lot of money. But then it's like, okay, then that means I either have to do it all, right? But I don't want to do it all. So what can I do? And it was very lucky for me because at that moment we also have 5 employees at the time. One of my right hand person quit on me, get really frustrated, right? And then I lost my credit card at the same time too. And I get on the call with one of the big company, and I was like, wow, you guys have a pretty thick accent. Like, where are you from? And then they told me that they're from another country, but they're serving us here and still collecting my social security number. I was like, man, if they can do that, I can do it too, because I know, right? If I get a foreign worker, since I'm from Malaysia, it will be a lot cheaper because of the currency, right? So then I checked it, I googled it online, and there we go. I realized that there's this thing called virtual assistant, whereby they can work from home from their country, right? And then we can employ them, and a lot of them are obviously office work, which is what I need anyway. And at the end, right, I we let go of our office space. I start working on my dream life, which is waking up, turning on the computer, and start working. I don't have to put my makeup on. I don't have to drive to work. I don't have to show up so that my office productivity is going higher, right? I don't really have to pay for any benefit. And I love my freedom because my mom had cancer about 10 years ago. And I promised her that I want to go back to Singapore at least 2 months out of the year during that time. And I couldn't do that if I have a physical office here and I have physical, people. So by using virtual assistant, I managed to work whether I'm here in United States or back home in Singapore or when I'm traveling, because I can open up the computer and start working. And ever since then, I just got all the freedom that most people don't have. And then again, added that, and then when I got into Tony Robbins world, like what I share with you, I really, and my VA Monique was like, hey boss, everybody wants it. Why don't you start a business like this so that people more like me can work from home and make good money and also raise their children together so that they don't have to go overseas to work, right? To make ends meet, and then their kids is gonna miss their parents. And that just literally connect all the stories together, right? That was like, yes, let's make it happen, because that was my passion. My passion is to let that little girl, the little Phyllis, to have their parents with them, and their parents still making really good money, and they can grow up with their parents over and over again. And that's how the whole business really grew. Thank you to Tony Robbins community, thank you to my story, and thank you to Monique who suggested to me. And we are actually 3 years in business, and again, we make a ton of money. We're very passionate, and every day we have at least one thank you note from VAs and clients and say, hey, thank you so much for allowing me to get extra good help, right? Without the cost of a local employees. Or the VA will, send us a message and say, hey, thank you so much for changing my life, because I don't have to go Dubai or Singapore, go on a cruise to work. I can work from home, still make the same amount of money and be able to raise my children. And at the same time, have the Tony Robbins mindset and be able to open up my heart and, live a happy life. So
Yeah, I really like what Phyllis shared there. Just listen, right? You're looking to create an offer. Obviously, we all want to make money, right? From our knowledge, there's no doubt, right? From our services. But one thing that Phyllis just shared with you is literally it started before income, it was impact first, right? She had this idea of what if I can keep them at home? What if I can keep them with their children? What if I can keep them without having to go overseas and work and literally impact their life, right? Provide them work so that they don't have to do all those things. It would change their world. And then she looked at her clients, Tony Robbins clients, right? That she wants to impact their life, being able to still achieve at a high level without having to sacrifice their relationships, themselves, or their health, or their time, doing the things that they shouldn't be doing in the first place, because these are things that, right, that don't really move the needle in their company. It's important, but it's not vital, right? As a business owner, even yourself, right, do only activities that cause your business to grow. That's what really Phyllis has done here for a lot of entrepreneurs, which is why she's able to impact these entrepreneurs so much and the VAs at the same time, is because it allows the entrepreneur to do things that really move the needle in their company. Do sales, do marketing, meet with their clients, support their clients, do the things that get them more clients, make them more money, make them more impact. And then the things that are still very, very important to do, then the VAs do them, right? So Phyllis, some of the things that I know that this is such a great topic to discuss because, shifting from, because I know we had local employees, we had 5 of them, right? So five employees ends up being almost like 20, 25 VAs, right? That do quite a bit for us. So what are some things that VAs can actually do for business owners, whether they are just a startup, a solopreneur, or something, even a mid-sized company? What are some things that VAs you have found that VAs themselves can actually do for some of these entrepreneurs?
Absolutely. I do think that VA is like, I always call myself the magician. I just tell them to do something and they will make it happen. And there's a lot of clients that actually challenge me on what can they do, right? I think one of the persons say, well, they cannot clean the swimming pool. I say, yes, they can, not through their hand, but by posting an ad, right, and looking for the cleaner so that they can come to your house to clean to clean the swimming pool. So in general, traditionally, I always suggest that, if you are a solo entrepreneur, you just start up, right? Based on the phases, I would say the very first one usually is an executive assistant, right? That help you take care of yourself, get you organized on your email, your calendars. Also can help you pay your bills too if you're not good at bills, right? Then you can hire a social media person that can obviously get you elevated in your authority, right? Your YouTube, your Facebook, and all that stuff, right? Social media post. And then after you do your social media, you're going to generate some leads, right? When you get the leads, you're going to hire a salesperson, right? So that they can help you, close the deal, making sure that, all these new leads are turning into sales. After that, you can hire a customer service person, because after you close them as sales, you need to fulfill, right? So you need a customer service person that, can do all the fulfillment. And then you can hire an accountant, right? So that they can make sure that all the invoices are paid, all the bills are updated, all the bookkeeping are up, right? And then you can have a business development. I mean, I can go on and on with all the position that we have: video editor, right? A copywriter, um, and then a project manager, right? I myself, I hire a VA to become a tutor of mine. Because I love homeschool my kids, but I don't have the time to train them or patience. So we hire them as a tutor too. There's just many, many, many different applications that you can use the VA for, as long as you're running it through a computer, through internet. They can do it all, like even a recruiter, right? I mean I can list down like at least 300 positions that we have here that we help client fulfill. Some of them is even medical VA, transcriber, paralegal. The list can go on and on and on. Yeah, so that's like some of the position that you can do, and again, be creative with it. Oh, and one more, the biggest thing that I will always suggest is that they are also your therapist. Because for me, sometimes I need to vent. Can't vent to my husband, right? Because he's gonna try to fix something. So I quote, light up a candle and tell my VA what's going on with the day. So that one is I can let all the steam out. Second is I can reorganize my thought, and then third is I will have more better mood to continue working. So that is actually a very crucial piece too. So
Awesome. Thank you. So, what you heard from Phyllis is this, right? So you're looking to create an offer, and when she decided to create her offer, be very, very clear. Like, she's done this for 3 years. So she now has copywriters, funnel builders, right? Marketing people, even legal, doing, stuff with attorneys and accountants and stuff like that. But she didn't start there, right? She started with just, hey, we have a VA that could be your assistant. She said that, an executive assistant. And then as she started getting, getting to know her ideal clients more, and increasing her own skills and her own workforce skills, then she's able to do copywriting and social media and all that stuff. So when you're starting to craft your offer, let's make sure that there's a result that your ideal clients want to achieve, right? It's like a GPS. They know where they're at. They know where they want to go. And what they're wanting is somebody to come in and help them close that gap. So don't overpromise, right? Underpromise, overdeliver. That's literally what I've learned from from Phyllis, right? She underpromised, but then her VAs become an assistant, but then end up doing social media as well and doing all these things. They just go way above and beyond. So again, when you're creating your offer, just craft it small, take that very first one or two steps, and then add on to it. Because last thing you want to do is, tell people that you can do something and then you can't, right? So the other thing she also talked about is fulfillment, right? So if you're looking to craft an offer, delivering on your promises of your offer, right, is very, very important. Are you going to do one-on-one? Are you going to do, a group? Are you going to do mastermind? Are you going to create courses, right? Is it a done for you service? Is it done with you? Things like that is so crucial because, Phyllis, answer this. How, I know, what is your offer? That's one. And then second is, how do you, when the client says yes to you, how do you onboard with them? How do you onboard them, interact with them so that it really aligns with, you doing what you love, not just what you're great at? So how can you tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my offer, right? What we do with the client is number one, we help them with discovery. Discover of what they need and what are the tasks that the VA want and what kind of VA do they need. And then afterwards, we help them obviously find the right VA, right? Posting the ads, interview them, you right, making sure that they're the good VA, and then we get them hired. And afterwards, we train the VA along the side with the client, because it's really hard to train them for like a couple days and like give them a lot of information, because a lot of it is mindset and belief in themselves. So we give them a 30 business day training, along the side with the client, and at the same time training them to become a super VA. And if they cannot become a super VA, then what we'll do is we'll go back to step one, which is rediscovering whether that's the right VA or not, and then rehire them, and then again get them to be trained and graduated from our super VA program. And after those three is done, then ultimately we know that the VA works for them. They're still continuously in our program to get trained to become, we call it the VP, which means at the end they become a virtual partner for the client to take up the whole office, like Monique for me. And Monique has been with me for 11 years. So that is kind of like the offer that we have for them. And then in the meanwhile, we have clients who really need a course that, like we're training them on how to run a successful business. We also have clients who are just super busy and they just need an on-demand help. So either way, we're there for them. We have, email, WhatsApp that they can communicate with us whenever things are not going well. One thing that we have created is called the traffic light system. Is green, yellow, and red. Green, yellow, and red. Green means everything's good. I'm all set, right? Yellow is like, yeah, things are good, but there's something that we need to be tweaking. Red is like, try, it's something got to change. If not, I can't do this anymore, right? So every week we also send that to them, to know are they doing well or not. If they're doing well, then we'll leave them alone. If they're not doing well, we'll immediately schedule a call.
Awesome. So having an offer is important. Knowing how you deliver on that promise, that offer is vital, right? And then, so now that you have this offer, you got to determine what is your sales process, right? How do you get in front of your ideal clients to make them the offer, right? So Phyllis, where do you make your offer? I know that courses done with you, even done for you stuff, right? So where do you make it? Is it on like a webinar? Is it on a challenge? Is it on a one-on-one call? What are you doing?
So again, like I said, my business is started in a really small community. So I just usually show up and participate in like their events, their mastermind, and things like that to get my name out there. So obviously, I'm in a very niche group, right? It's a VA thing. There's not a lot of competition there, so a lot of people just automatically come to me. And then for me, I'm very very simple. I just have a website called phyllisong.com, and everybody that needs me, they just go to the website and schedule a call. That's all that I do for the past 3 years. And afterwards, but the back end support, what we really focusing on is asking for referrals. So well, again, they will always see me, right? So that they know, like, and trust me already. And then they will go to my website. We'll send everybody to our website, because then we can log all the sales calls, and all the details. And then afterwards, they will meet with one of our sales team member to meet with them, have a and share with them what our product is. If everything's good, then they will schedule another call to complete all the document, and then the process will start by the hiring and all that. I don't really get involved too much. I'm only showing up every Friday to collaborate with the clients, if they have any questions, and every Wednesday I will be training the VA directly too on what is the real deal, what's going on right now with us. But yeah, my husband always tell me, man, you need to create a master class, you need to do this, you need to do that. this moment I still haven't really do it. And I am working on it right now, don't get me wrong. But again, life is good, God is good. We have a lot of referrals. That's one thing that we're really focusing on is referral and testimonials. And throughout the referrals, it feed us well. And right now I'm obviously working on the rest of the social media pieces.
Beautiful. So, last question, then we'll close it off here. Delegation, right? Leading from the front, obviously knowing where you want to go as an entrepreneur, and that charting your course so that it makes it easy for your crew, right, your team, to know where you want to go, so that they can help you, essentially play their role in your ship, right? As you chart your course. So how what's that mindset like for somebody to say, going from giving up control of all those to-do lists and all those things, to saying, hey, I'm gonna trust you with this, because I think you said it one time, which I brilliantly, I've heard you say, your time's worth X amount of dollars, right? If you want to make X amount of money. So can you share a little bit about that, and how do I transition if I wanted to go from doing only activities that cause my business to grow, and then leverage, right, delegate everything else? How do I make that transition?
Yeah, absolutely. I really love this thing that I have learned from is if you want to make your first $1 million, right, your first seven figures, that means that if you want to make your first $1 million and you only want to work 40 hours a week, right, that means that you are worth $500 an hour, or you need to net $500 an hour every hour that you make. So that kind of helped me. Like clarify and draw the boundaries on what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing, right? Checking email, I shouldn't be doing it, right? Posting social media, I technically shouldn't be doing it, right? Checking logging QuickBook, data entry, I shouldn't be doing it, right? But what should I be working on, right? While building meaningful connection, right? Teaching my client and my VAs, right? Have one-on-one with potential JV partnership, right? Speaking on other people's engagement, because these are all the money making activities that allow me to scale my business even more, instead of going back on checking my emails. But at the same time, they need to be done. So again, if you're a solo entrepreneur, when you first started, what do? It's very simple. We just get the VA to be on the Zoom together with us, and then we share screen, and then I will answer emails while they're watching me, and I will explain how I do all that. As email as an example is very simple. All we tell them to do is go through all the emails. If you have a response, put it in a draft it and put it in a draft box. And after that, I will review them and I will hit send after they drafted. So one, I don't have to redraft the thing. I just need to modify it a little bit. Two, I am the one that hit the send button, so it can never go wrong. So, as easy as that, that is how everybody start, right? And that really will help you save at least 3 hours on your email time to maybe 30 minutes. Obviously, at the beginning, you have to talk to them about, okay, I don't like this, I don't like that. I would love you to ask them to read their send boxes to see how you write your stuff, right? But again, nowadays you have ChatGPT. What I tell people to do is copy all the send message, the receive and send message, put them into a PDF, and let ChatGPT read it, and then identify it and then redraft your response. And that has been working wonders for us. And thus, then you will slowly gain the trust, right, with your virtual assistant, and eventually you'll be able to let everything go. But again, you just have to let your VA know if you feel like something is off. You need to let me know. You need to stop the activity so that you're not making any mistakes, right? But again, mistake just tend to happen. I remember what Tony Robbins said is like he runs 100 companies. There's no way that problem doesn't happen. There's no way that people don't screw it up. If you're afraid of screwed up, then you're also afraid of growth because I mean they are just they're just on the right scale. It's just always on the pieces.
Totally. I was gonna ask you. You can still. I was gonna ask you if you had any last minute advice for entrepreneurs, which I'm pretty sure you do. But I love that advice that she just gave just now. Right, when we talk about do only activities that cause your business to grow, she shared a lot, quite a bit. If you heard her, right, do activities that cause your business to grow. Talk to people, build having those meaningful relationships with people who you can JV with, right? Training my team, right, my VAs, supporting my clients, doing marketing, doing sales, right? Those are things that cause your business to grow. Those are things that really move the needle. And if you're launching something new, a lot of times we do those little minute activities to kind of distract ourselves, quite honestly, from launching. And if you really look at, I want this to sink in. There are people out there doing what you want to do. There are people out there less qualified from you, as a matter of fact, making what you want to make. But here's the thing: the reason why they're doing what you want to do, making what you want to make, is because they acted, right. They took action. They didn't get bogged down into all those little activities. Because if you truly, like Phyllis said, if you want to be a millionaire, don't do a $10 task, right? So Phyllis, before we close off, do you have any advice? And then I'll ask for how to get a hold of you. Do you have any advice for somebody who's literally just looking to start something brand new, right, in that transition, or they have an existing offer, they're 2 feet in, but it's just not working. It's just not getting the results that they want to get.
I think I just always remember what Tony always said, right? Is fall in love with your client and not your product, right? Fall in love with your client, not your product. Really get to know them, see what they want. At the very beginning, I remember I don't really have an offer per se. I just know that I will be able to help them find a good VA, right? And the how we'll figure it out because every client is actually very different. But they at least they know my heart and my soul on what I wanted to deliver for them. I also provide money back guarantee so that it's easier for them to get to me because at that time I don't really have any names, right? It was harder for me, right? But the key of it all is just fall in love with what you do. I think if you fall in love with it, you didn't realize that you're working, right? And you'll be able to scale your business, and people can feel the energy that you have. It's like you truly love what you do, and you truly wanted to help them to get to the other side of the bridge, and they will follow you because they will trust you, and the rest will be just history. Again, for me, it was really easy, right? I fell in love with my client. I really definitely want to serve them. Truth is, I only have one email template, one website, one calendar link, right? And then I think maybe I think agreement I got it maybe 2 years after that, and just by just that, right? I grow myself into 7 figures already without me even realizing until my husband said, "Hey, by the way, did you know that you have over $3 million?" And I was like, "Really? Like, did we really do that? I didn't know that." And then we celebrated after. So
Yeah, then we submitted the form to get the 2 comma club with ClickFunnels, right? It's crazy.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
all right, so to catch every single one of you guys up, right? So have a very short, right, effective, precise introduction of yourself, and start with the result. Start with result in terms of what you help your ideal clients achieve, right? Then showcase your expertise and your passion. Know very clearly who is it that you actually help, right? And what do they want? Because once you find out what they want, then all your job to do, just like Phyllis did, was just to give it to them, right? And know that your intention is pure, that your heart, you really believe in not only yourself, but that you can actually bring this service to them, that you can help them find a great VA, or help them lose weight, or help them launch a business, or help them write great copy, whatever your offer is, right? And then be in love with them. And that's why she chose her ideal client. She understood them so well because she is actually her client, right? She knew that she wanted time, she wanted freedom, she wanted a better relationship, she wanted a better life, and she still wanted to run, a kick butt, business, right? So she understood them, and she turned that into her offer, her expertise. And then know what your offer is. Being able to deliver on your promise is so critical to your success, to your brand, right? And then at the same time, do only activities that cause your business to grow, right? You have an offer, make it, right? Because if you don't make an offer to your ideal client, someone else will. As a matter of fact, let this sink in, someone will make them an offer that sucks, right? So if you have an amazing offer, make it, right? And then stay in your lane. Do activities that, if you're trying to generate millions of dollars, stop doing $10 activities. Okay. So Phyllis, how do people get a hold of you and get to know about your services and how to help themselves have a better life, better relationship, better business, and still without having to sacrifice themselves or their time?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for asking. So it's very easy. I mean, you can see my name right here, right? It's Phyllis Song. So you just go to the website phyllisong.com, and on the top, right corner, there's a schedule a meeting with us. So you can, obviously 30 minutes free discovery call. So to let us know what is your pain, right? What is your struggle? What's your challenges? And then we will give you some advice, and also potentially, if you want our help, what kind of virtual assistant can we provide to you?
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. If everybody's watching, thank you very much for allowing us to be here to share with you. And again, Our hope is to share as much examples, strategies, frameworks as possible that you can actually take away and implement so that you can help you launch that new offer or grow your existing offer. And then ultimately live that laptop lifestyle, right? Being able to live and work from anywhere in the world, having that ultimate time, financial, and location freedom. Have an amazing week, guys. Bye-bye.